Hi, good evening. This is Brijesh Dalmia from Masterstroke. This is Saturday, 4th of March 2023, 6 p.m. And today, the subject of my talk is 5 powerful concepts every MFD should know. A very short presentation, 6 slides. I have only 6 slides to talk, and I will take around 20-25 minutes to give this presentation. I welcome all of you. Thank you so much for joining in. And let me tell you, this is a trick program. The actual topic of the program is 5 powerful concepts every investor should know. But before we launch that, we wanted to do this program that some of the MFDs also don't know about these concepts. Okay, so I will present these 5 concepts and how to use these concepts in your client engagements discussions. कई बार हमें चीजें आती है लेकिन हम उसको कैसे प्लेस करें हमें नहीं आता, किस तरह से हम उसका एडवांटेज लें, किस तरह से क्लाइंट से बात करें, इसके बारे में हम जानकारी नहीं ले पाते, इससे हमारी सेल्स वीक हो जाती है। सही समय पे सही एग्जांपल्स अगर आप देंगे तो आपके क्लाइंट कन्वर्जन्स, आपके डिस्कशंस और पावरफुल हो जाएंगे। सो मैं आपको आज 5 कॉन्सेप्ट बताने वाला हूं और once I finish this program, we will also upload this presentation in the ready-made presentation for premium members, which you can download and send it to your clients with your personal branding, which will increase your engagement with the client and also help you present these concepts to the clients, which are very, very powerful. So 5 concepts, and the first concept I would like to start now. And this is a very famous slide. Somehow certain things published by media becomes very famous, and I like this slide. This is a source Mint newspaper published this report maybe a month or two back. Most of you got it on the WhatsApp chat, but that chat gets deleted here and there. So we have captured this and we have mentioned the source as Mint. So the credit source goes to Mint. This is the concept number 1, performance rotates. This is a very powerful concept. Okay. What it tells you, and of course you know it, but I will give you some examples, that in 2013, large cap was number 2. 2014, it was number 3. Then it went down in 2015-16 to number 9 and number 9, then it went up again. So you see the performance is rotating. And now when you see it is again bouncing back. Let's talk about gold. Gold was last in 2013, 14 and 15. And then it went up to number 5th position, and then it went back to number 7th position. Then it went top of the chart in 2008, 18, then also top of the chart, then also top of the chart. And last year it went down and then again top of the chart. So last 5 years, gold has done extremely well. And if you then see the last 10 years performance, you will find that gold is a good performer. Similarly, let's talk about the small cap. Small cap was number 1 in 2014, went down to as being the least performer in 2016. Then from least performance, it went up to best performance, then the worst performance, then the worst performance, then the best performance, and again it is a bad performance. So it's about a time. Sometime आपको ऐसा लगता है you can pick the winners and you can exit here and you can invest here. It is not possible, impossible. So ये चार्ट को आपको अपने इन्वेस्टर्स को दिखाना और कन्विंस करना है कि अगर आपने उनको कोई स्कीम दी है और वो परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही है, कोई कैटेगरी दी है परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही है, तो संभावना है कि वो आगे परफॉर्म करेगी. Very high chances that the scheme will perform. Now let's again take the case of, let's say, इसमें एक important चीज ये है, if you see, one can also notice that while equities deliver better returns in the long term, they may not deliver every year. In 4 of the last 10 years, fixed income and gold outperform equity-oriented schemes, 2015, 16, 20, 22. So let's say 2015. 2015, credit risk fund delivered 10% return, which was the best return among all categories. Corporate bond fund also did well. So debt allocation also is very, very important. It has very low risk, and 4 out of 10 years, I will take gold also kind of a debt allocation in terms of it doesn't have the volatility of equity, and people consider it safe asset. So credit risk fund, GSEC fund, credit risk fund, you see, in 3 years, GSEC and credit risk fund is the top 1 and top 2 category. Corporate bond fund, we have given example also, is doing very well. So you see corporate bond fund, corporate bond fund, corporate bond fund, corporate bond fund. So it is in the top 5 category in the last 10 years. Here, 3, 4, 5. In 5 of the last 10 years, corporate bond category is in the top 5 performers. which we miss out. We only think about the equity. So that should not be the case. So this is concept number one, performance rotates. This is very interesting. The next 4 slides, some of you know, some of you will never know this. And so this is a good time for you to pay attention to these slides. Concept 2, is it worth investing in a risky asset? Very, very important. Please pay attention here. कभी-कभी क्या होता है, क्लाइंट बोलता है या डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर भी ऐसा सोचते हैं कि थोड़ा रिस्क लेना चाहिए पोर्टफोलियो में. हम रिस्क का मतलब कोई एक सिंगल स्टॉक में इन्वेस्टमेंट कर देते हैं, स्मॉल कैप में, क्रिप्टो में इन्वेस्ट कर देते हैं, या फिर कोई एक ऐसे प्रोडक्ट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं जहां 25% साल का रिटर्न बन सकता है, तो नुकसान भी हो सकता है. वो क्यों करते हैं ऐसे क्लाइंट्स या डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर की 5% फंड को अगर हम 10% फंड को डाइवर्सिफाई करेंगे तो हमारा पोर्टफोलियो में कोई रिस्क नहीं है और हमें ज्यादा रिटर्न मिल सकते हैं. कॉन्सेप्ट वाइज तो ये अच्छा लगता है, मगर हमने इसमें डेटा को कैप्चर करने की कोशिश की और मैं आपको बताऊंगा व्हाई इट डजंट मेक सेंस. लेट अस से कि किसी क्लाइंट का 100% पोर्टफोलियो डाइवर्सिफाइड है, उसको पोर्टफोलियो पे 12% का रिटर्न आ रहा है. सो पोर्टफोलियो एक्सपेक्टेड रिटर्न इज 12%, 14 lakh, 17 lakh, 31 lakhs. Now the client of the mutual fund distributor wants to pick up some risky asset. रिस्की एसेट का मैंने नाम नहीं दिया है, बट आप इसको समझ लीजिए कि वेयर यू कैन लूज द प्रिंसिपल और इट कैन गो डाउन बाय 25% रिटर्न और अ सिंगल स्टॉक. यहाँ क्लाइंट बोलता है 90% मैं डाइवर्सिफाइड पोर्टफोलियो में रखूंगा और मैं थोड़ा रिस्क लूंगा 10% ऑफ द पैसे पे, तो छोटा पैसा है और मेरे को 25% साल का रिटर्न मिलेगा यहाँ पे. इन दिस केस your portfolio from 14 lakh 4,000 in 3 years can grow to 14 lakh 54,000. You earn 50,000 positive, but that's not a very big amount. In 10 years, 31 lakhs become 34 lakh rupees. It's not a very big amount. 3 lakhs only positive. Return wise 12% का बढ़ करके आपका 13.3% हो जाता है, यानी your return goes up by only 1.3%. But what we have shown here is that if the risky asset performs minus 25%, because अगर 25 ऊपर जा सकता है तो 25 नीचे भी जा सकता है ना. अगर 25 नीचे चला गया तो आपका 14 लाख रुपए की जगह 12,70,000 बनेगा और 31 लाख की जगह 22 लाख बनेगा. 12 लाख का 9 लाख का नुकसान होता है आपको. 3 लाख के फायदे के अगेंस्ट में 9 लाख का नुकसान, और टोटल रिटर्न 12% से घट करके 8.3% पे आ जाते हैं. ओके, एंड अ ड्रॉप ऑफ 3.7%. सो पॉजिटिव कंपाउंडिंग आपको 1.3% की मिलती है बेनिफिट. नेगेटिव कंपाउंडिंग होने से 3.7% का नेगेटिव कंपाउंडिंग होता है, which is very, very bad, which is not very attractive. You will agree with that. Yeah. So this is a very powerful slide which you can show to your clients. This is slide number 3. This is the third concept. What is the concept? Savings matter more than the returns. And this is probably one of the most important slide of these 5 concepts. और आपको एवरीडे इस कॉन्सेप्ट को अपने क्लाइंट को दिखाना पड़ेगा. यू शुड शो दिस कॉन्सेप्ट एवरी सिंगल डे टू योर क्लाइंट्स. एंड व्हाट इज दिस कॉन्सेप्ट सेइंग? हमने बहुत ब्यूटीफुली यहाँ बताया कि लेट अस से अ क्लाइंट इज डूइंग 10,000 rupees ऑफ एसआईपी पर मंथ. रिटर्न एक्सपेक्टेशन इज 12%. आफ्टर 10 years क्लाइंट बोलता है ना कि रिटर्न चाहिए, रिटर्न चाहिए, रिटर्न चाहिए. आई वांट रिटर्न. व्हाट इज द रिटर्न आई विल गेट? ही डजंट फोकस ऑन हाउ मच मनी ही इज इन्वेस्टिंग. ही इज फोकस्ड ऑन हाउ मच रिटर्न ही इज गेटिंग. This slide says that even after 10 years, a client who is doing 10,000 rupees of SIP, he invests 12 lakh rupees. His portfolio value becomes 22 lakh rupees. So his total return is 10 lakh 40,000. Please pay attention here. 12 lakh का investment है, investment is 12 lakh, returns are 10 lakhs. 54% of his portfolio value is his own money. Only 46% is the return. यानी 10 साल के बाद में भी क्लाइंट जितना सेविंग करता है वो ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, कितना रिटर्न आता है ये कम इंपॉर्टेंट है. सो दिस इज द चार्ट ऑफ द प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट एंड दिस इज द चार्ट ऑफ द रिटर्न. आफ्टर इन 10.5 years, 11 years के बाद में 50-50 होता है. तो व्हाट यू हैव टू एक्सप्लेन टू द क्लाइंट इज दैट माय डियर क्लाइंट, प्लीज पे अटेंशन इन द सेविंग्स, बिकॉज व्हाट यू सेव इज 50% अप टू 11 years. रिटर्न कम और बेसी 1-8% हो भी जाता तो फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बिकॉज योर ओन मनी इज कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू योर एसेट. कंपाउंडिंग हैपेंस only after 10 years. Return is very, very meaningful only after 10 years. Of course, it is meaningful, but I'm saying very, very meaningful only after 10 years, because in 15 years time, your return component is 62% and 32%, 37%, almost 40% is still your capital. Now let's look at this chart in the lump sum basis also. Continued. Savings matter more than returns. Let's say the client invests 10 lakh rupees lump sum money at 12%. Even in case of lump sum up to 5 years, 56% is his own money and 43% is the portfolio return. So you have to tell the client कि अगर रिटर्न 1 साल में नहीं आया, 2 साल में नहीं आया, 3 साल में नहीं आया तो कोई बात नहीं है, because आपका ही पैसा ज्यादा है 56%. It is only after 10 years of lump sum investment then your capital component is 32% and investment return component is 67%. So for the first 5 years and 10 years, for the first 5 years in case of lump sum, you should talk to the client कि how much money you invest is more important. Don't look at the return concept. बात करने से बात बनती है. When you talk to the client, it makes an impact. And I want to write in the chat box now. Do you think this is a very powerful concept? Do you agree with this concept that savings matter more than the return? And this is an important concept. If you explain to the client, they will understand this. This is a powerful tool for you. Please write yes in the chat box. So here you see that your principal amount up to 6 years is 50%. You see, 6 years. So this is the third concept I wanted to talk to you about. Okay, let's talk about the fourth concept. Concept number 4, and we are making a lot of presentation at Masterstroke about why property gives high returns and direct stocks versus mutual funds and property versus mutual funds. So this is one of the series that we are launching. Why property gives you high returns? Now this chart you can explain to the client. You read this. Many investors feel that property gives very high return, but usually they remember the cost price and the current value of the property. For example, वो आपको बोलेंगे मैंने 1 लाख रुपए में ली थी 1 करोड़ हो गया. वो ये नहीं बताएंगे कब ली थी. So if you ask them, and I've given an example because it is difficult to know different client, different property. Generally, they will tell you that कि 40 साल पहले 1 लाख ली थी आज 1 करोड़ हो गया. What this slide tells to the client is that if you bought 1 lakh rupees का one property in 1979 and it became 1 crore 100 times. Let's compare this with the Bombay Stock Exchange. Bombay Stock Exchange during the same period gives you 5 crore 89 lakh rupees. The return is 15.6%. First of all, you have to tell the client, sir, even if your property value has gone up by 100 times, it is only 11.3%. If you invested the same money, it would have given you 15.6% return per year. This 4% difference in 43 years is equal to 5 crore rupees extra return. 600 times Bombay Stock Exchange had delivered. Now, it is still better if you invested in a mutual fund. And for compliance reason, we have not given the name of the fund. Most of you know that these names in the 1990s. Fund A delivered 18.45% as on 5th January 2023. Fund B 21%, C 18%, and D 19%. If 4% differential can make a 6 crore differential, you can understand if 7, 8, 9, and 10% differential, I don't know, it might go to 8 crores, 10 crores. If you give this explanation to the client, it is very difficult for you to convince the client in one single sitting that why you should go for equity mutual funds over property for long term. But बात करने से बात बनती है. If you have charts, explanations, verbal discussion से इतना power नहीं होता. When you show these charts, if you was thinking of buying a property, 1 out of 2% will delay it and will invest with you. This is the power of this particular chart. Do you agree or not? Please write me in the chat box. Okay, so this is a very powerful concept. And finally, last but not the least, and then I will revise these 5 slides also. This is also going to be very, very powerful. Concept number 5, you will love this. There are 2 kinds of risk. One is price volatility risk and the other is called the capital risk. Okay, one is called the price volatility risk, another is called the capital risk. Now let us see what is the difference. Let's talk about the gold. Tell the client that when you invest in gold, it has price volatility risk in the short term. Matlab, 56,000 can go to 54,000. It can go to 50,000, maybe 45,000. But price is going down. It will come up. It will never become zero. This is called price volatility risk. Let's talk about equity funds. If you invest in a basket of fund, which is called equity fund, not a single stock, but if you invest in a basket, this is important, my dear friend, basket of equity mutual funds, it also has high price volatility risk in the short term, but generally over long term, the value goes up. The capital risk is not there. If you invest through equity mutual funds over long term, Generally, do not, you cannot give a guarantee. I will like to mention this disclaimer here. But generally, when you invest in a basket of 15, 20 stocks through a mutual fund, there is probability of capital risk is very low. Means you will permanently lose your capital is very low. What do you mean by capital risk? Is permanent loss of capital. Price risk is a short-term loss of valuation. But when you invest in a product like crypto or penny stock, I'm just giving this example. This can be anything. Maybe, in an art which you don't understand, or in any product which you don't understand, and which is one single asset class, one single product. They have both high price volatility risk as well as capital risk. Means you can lose 100% of your money here. You can lose 100% of your money here. But at these places, you will not lose 100% of your money, probably ever. So if you make this concept clear to the investor, your engagement will improve. They will become a learned individual. Ensure you have no exposure in assets that can leave you with permanent capital loss. This is the concept number 5. So, mutual fund investments are subject to market risk. Please read the offer document carefully. I will very quickly go back, or if some of you joined late, to revise these 5 slides. You can take a picture, but as I said, I will also launch this ready-made portfolio in MasterStroke, which you can download in your personal branding and share with your customers. So let's go very, very quickly again with these powerful concepts. The first concept is that the performance rotates. So if you have invested in a category which is not doing well, it can do well in the future years. It is very, very powerful. Okay, so you see this blue dot. This is the variation of the large cap. Gold is the chart goes up like this. So even if you see international funds, sometimes you don't like international fund, but international fund has topped the chart 2 out of 10 years. So if you diversify international, 2 out of 10 years, your return is the highest. 45% return in 1 year, 31% return in the other year. And only 1 year they have been at the bottom, -10, which makes a very strong case for you to diversify international. Concept number 2 is it worth investing in a risky asset? That I will take chance with 5-10% of my portfolio, and if I can make 25%, your return goes up only by 1.3%. But if it doesn't work, and if it loses 25%, your portfolio return from 12% goes down to 8.3%, which is a loss of 3.7% CAGR portfolio returns, which is very, very high. So client ka negative compounding bachana. This is very important. Concept number 3 is that savings matter more than returns. If you do SIP, your own capital investment is more than 50% even after 10 years. So explain the client, the returns are important, but your savings are more important. You have to make your clients educated, more educated. Similarly, in case of lump sum, up to 5 years, 6 years, your 50% investment is your own of the portfolio value. So this will reduce your pressure of delivering performance in the short period of time to the client. Concept number 4, why property gives high returns? Property versus Sensex returns observation is that, of course, property gives high return because you hold for a long period of time. If you hold equity funds also for a long period of time, your returns will be fantastic. And these are examples of 4 equity funds which were launched in the 1990s, which have delivered 18 to 21% CAGR returns, which could take your property investment into 10x multiplier if you invested for 25 years in mutual funds schemes. And concept number 5, never go for permanent capital loss. Never invest in products which can give you permanent capital loss. Okay, so in 2000 meltdown technology, if any investor bought technology stocks, many of the technology stocks went down the drain, 0% value. They lost 100% of the capital. But if they invested in kind of an infotech mutual fund basket, they multiplied their investment in 20 years time. So price risk is different and capital risk is different. And with this, I will say mutual fund investments are again subject to market risk. Please read the offer document before investing, and I will stop my sharing and I stop my recording. I hope you like this presentation, and I look forward to your comments in the chat box. Thank you so much.